Hey everybody, Charlie92 here, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. When we last left off, we had just dropped a forged document that Evart wanted us to get signed, but we went ahead and forged it because we didn't want to displace the people at the Fishman Village. But hopefully we'll be finished with the investigation before that comes back to bite us. So let's go tell Evart that we did his mission, and let's continue the investigation. Hello, Evart.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today?
It's done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry.
He claps his hand. Whoop.
I already knew this.
Don't interrupt me. He claps his hand together like a child who's just been offered cotton candy.
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future, Harry, and I feel I can finally trust you now.
Okay. You feel like you have something to hold over my head to incriminate me, but let's see what you got.
You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
He nods to the lieutenant, smiling broadly.
See, forging that signature really paid off.
I agree.
Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
Yes, but what other options did we have?
You don't know his full plan. Perhaps he expected trickery. Perhaps the signatures weren't important. The point is, do not think you're ahead of him.
Good idea, Logic. The signatures you got, I know you plan to force them out with a construction noise. Did you order the hanged man killed? Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me.
Fine.
But it had to be done.
Where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
Old woman. We know exactly 3 old women. We know the apartment cleaner. We know the... I forgot what she's called. The lorry driver, who's an old woman. And then we know the old lady at the fishing village.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway...
He smiles and shakes his head in wonderment.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
The entrance to her building. She was waving it at people?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
Who is this old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
The Pigs.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth. Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
Fish market. 2200 tonight.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
Too easy.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Did you order the hangman killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
He shakes his head energetically. What do you have to gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
Exactly.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Independence.
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
Have you ever heard what 2 giant Cirrus hornets can do to an entire colony of bees? They destroy it. They're trained military people. Aren't you afraid for your men?
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men.
With all the unions. So the unions are unionizing.
The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
How's this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
Yep, so independence.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
Okay. Why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start.
Continue.
It's already happening.
The signatures guide. I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise. How many of you guys are there in the union? How are you going to fund your new independent harbor? Well, with the drug trade.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
I'm sure you have. I just want to know about it.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
Can't possibly hope to continue like you have. Clients will leave en masse.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
But you're essentially stealing this harbor from Wild Pines. So Wild Pines paid for the construction of the harbor, set up the infrastructure, set up the contracts, trained all of your men, and now you're going to cut Wild Pines off and you're going to be basically the boss of it. So you're essentially just stealing this whole operation from them.
That's drugs.
Yep, and you're going to do illegal activities.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samarin Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it.
Oh, don't call them that.
All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, is the turn of saying, right? That's just the top of the iceberg, according to one here, isn't it?
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column.
In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer, a shark.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefit and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperidone.
He slams his fist on the desk once more. He's super proud about this plan, otherwise he wouldn't be telling us.
Benefit is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis.
Yeah, I gathered that encyclopedia.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
There you go, Kim.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned.
He smiles.
But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
It's in the church.
He's basically admitting to it.
Drugs are a no-go for me. I'll report this. I have to admit that's a well put together plan and far removed from you. Interesting stuff. I just want to solve this murder, okay? Makes sense to regulate the drug trade like this. Keeps it out of more dangerous hands. Let's just focus on the murder and see what other information we can get from him.
You know why you're such a good detective, Harry? You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
It would still be illegal.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel.
What's your point?
I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
So you're basically making your own society, your own nation.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
Hold on, I want to look at the big picture. I want to look at the drug trade you almost admitted to. Well, I mean, if it has the word incorporated in it, then then I like it. I'm a money guy. It's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man. I'm not feeling a whole lot of Revachol here. Not enough flags and kings. Honestly, it's not my place to judge. Hold on, I want to look at the big picture. I don't want to look at the big picture. I want to look at the drug trade you almost admitted to.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it.
I don't believe you.
Boys, Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering?
Incorporated socialism, especially in this aspect, is basically just organized crime. It's not my place to judge or express opinion. It is, but I want to get more info from this guy.
Harry, the length you're willing to go to keep your nose clean is remarkable. You will always have a warm bed in Mr. Clare's household, my friend, and a special place in the future of Martinez.
How many of you are in the Union?
2,372, plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol.
Can I ask you about specific Union members?
We're way past specific Union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry.
His eyes are shining.
You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise with the signatures.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
So you're gonna build houses for your workers as well. Is it gonna be like the old coal industry and the old rail industries where, you know, you paid them in money that you could only take at your own store, you would deduct their living from their wages, and basically they would be indentured servants to your trade or whatever business you had.
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces. They're very large.
So the village is doomed.
Yep, but it's not because we did it tricky.
You were there. You saw the place. A wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, officers. We are going to reset it.
He slams his fist on the table, causing some of the coffee to spill.
Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce.
What do you mean?
Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Low-income housing, youth supermarket church complex. Yeah, don't believe that. And life. I knew you were a man of the people, Evart.
And I knew you were one too, Harry. Right when you rolled into town. I've got the centre, I've got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
The pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that.
Okay, but is this the way to do it?
And then there will be a giant statue of him, towering above it all.
Good job, conceptualization. Wait, but will you erect a statue to yourself? I knew you were up to something.
Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
Don't believe it for a second. That's it for now.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Suddenly there's sadness in his tone.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Can we talk about the murder?
Most certainly, Harry.
Nope.
By all means, Harry.
Harbor?
I'm always happy to educate.
Nope.
Very nice, Harry. Is there anything else?
Joyce?
Great. You want to?
Nope.
Absolutely, Harry.
All right. He says to talk to Leo about individual workers. He's trying to distance himself from any one culpable individual. His schemes actually seem less grandiose than I expected.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
He smiles his disarming smile and looks you deep in the eye. Leo, you seem to know everyone around here. I want to ask you about someone.
Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. But who did you want to talk about?
Ooh, we got everybody. Tell me about the guy in the container.
Who do you mean, mister?
He's rubbing his nape and looking at you with childlike innocence. The fancy guy in a suit. And that container over there.
I don't know anyone like this, mister. Maybe he's one of Mr. Everett's fancy friends. He knows all kinds of fancy people with suits and purdy carriages.
Tell me about Edgar.
Mr. Edgar is Mr. Everett's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does, but a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some union business. Not even in Revershaw, they say.
Don't interrupt him.
All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Everett's turn to look after the union. But last year he spent a whole winter in South Africa. Left with the first autumn rains and didn't come back before the trees were green again.
Has anybody seen them both in the same place at the same time? Maybe they're just the same person.
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo shipments being made, too. The trade must have been lucrative for the trip to be so long.
Tell me about Manada.
He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks to Everett sometimes.
He falls silent, hesitating.
Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little better.
Tell me about Mesherhead.
Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, I don't think he would like me running my mouth about him like that.
Probably not.
Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some Union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't talk about that.
Tell me about Titus.
Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice, friendly sort, old Titus is.
The little man rubs a patch on his elbow.
He's probably one of those rare specimens who are born when two drunk seamen stumble on top of each other on the deck amidst a storm so violent it flings whales around.
Really? Conceptualization? Did we need that right now? Tell me about Everett.
I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everett would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister.
If anything, the ever-present smile on Leo's face gets even warmer. Tell me about Renee.
The night guard. He was a peculiar fellow. Headstrong and proud. We didn't really talk all that much. He died recently. Something with his ticker.
Was it, though? I want to talk about something else.
Sure, mister.
I'm off. I don't think Renee died by natural means. Okay, so we got a lead on our gun. We know their plans. We still haven't really gotten further with the murder, have we? Go talk to Joyce. In 12 hours, we need to meet an old lady who apparently has her gun. Hopefully she won't kill us. We do have a level up. We could try authority. And try to step to Titus again. May or may not work. Mignana, you got anything else to say?
Hola, Wandering Man.
Nope, he does not. Let's keep going. I think we got to talk to Joyce. I think that's the move. Let's see what we can do with passing this authority check. We might be even better. We just need to make sure we don't have a negative authority. We don't. And confront the pigs and get your gun back. Tommy Lee Home, Titus. Oh, we can do it again. I think because we talked to Everard again, it's going to boost it even more.
You again. What is it?
I'm just going to keep bugging you. No, it is locked. Confronted drug trade. Everard asked to cooperate. Discussed 8th Hardy. Warned about tribunal. Found a witness. We're just going to do it. We're just going to put the point there into authority. Level up. Accept changes. Do we have any more? We do have another one, so we can try this 2 times.
It's you again.
I wish he
What
didn't
is
take
it?
so long to walk over here with his little tiny boots. 42.
As
We
you
did
look
it.
around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
Where have I seen this before?
You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit and wasting time.
I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around here.
Huh?
You must be. You're just like real cops, drinking beer and sitting around with your stuff in your hands.
You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
No. I got drunk, so drunk I drove my car into sea. I don't give a shit either. Just like you guys. No, I'm also a big fan of beer and wasting time instead of helping people. I have a beer problem, but not a problem with beer. I also have no idea how to do my job, just like you. Car in the sea, wasting time. Fan of beer and wasting time.
You saying we don't help people? I've been doing this job for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
He puts the beer down.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
Good call, Kim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
He picks the beer back up.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
It's not about who did it, it's about the victim. Someone's been raped, she needs counseling, we need to talk to her. I've asked this before, why are you hiding the victim? It's not about who did it, it's about the victim. She needs help.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms.
I bet it's Sylvie.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her,
Titus
a freight train of pain, buddy.
Titus taps his chin with his fist.
What is her name?
Lieutenant takes out his notes.
Glacia, I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags, a real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's I'm on due with an O-U.
Okay, we've met her.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Oh. -3 on composure. Because we talked to her when we first woke up. Said we didn't remember being a cop. Said we didn't remember reality. Talked about your room and crying. Miss Orange Disco Dancer. Collage? Let's try to keep her cool.
You inexplicably
We did not do it.
Cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Yep.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
calm, normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
We're not going to ask any of that. We're going to say thank you. We'll talk to her.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Leave. So does that now mean we can talk to Clashe? Amandu? Speak to this. Go upstairs and knock on the door. Hear what she has to say. Finally, we could get up there. Oh, Kim has something to say.
Officer, what was that?
You mean the sweating and the fidgeting when he mentioned her name?
Yes.
And the sort of quivering jello thing with the eye? Point to your twitching eye.
Yes.
I think I know that woman.
The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
Yeah, we're not... I don't need your rhetoric for that. I met her in the hallway after I woke up.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday.
She knows I didn't remember being a cop.
Okay, that's manageable.
She knows I did some pretty crazy stuff before I passed out, that I partied hard and not very mentally healthy.
So she overheard you? Or did you party together?
She overheard me listening to music and doing weird things from her room. It's the one next to yours.
Anything else?
I ask her where we are, what city this is, maybe in what year, something like that.
That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else?
Nothing, let's move on.
We'll be alright, Lieutenant. This is nothing.
You feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be all right. Is it though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up.
Oh, Kim's such a good guy. Ooh, what's this?
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right?
I know, super weird.
There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at, but still.
I was just thinking the same thing. I should just ask him if we're from the same station.
Yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Yeah, sure it's not. Alright, we'll go talk to Clage Amandu, the sexual assault victim. We'll talk to her next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, or subscribe. It does help out my channel. I'm trying to grow it. Just started being a YouTuber here about a month ago, and I would love to get some feedback and some support. If this is something I should continue doing or should just give it up entirely. Want to give it a shot, though. Anyway, stay tuned for next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.